So as suspected, the Titanic submersible, it was not at the bottom of the ocean filled with air. It wasn't sort of a horror movie in which everybody was knocking on the walls, hoping desperately that somebody would save them. It wasn't people in a small chamber waiting and running out of time. Instead, it turns out that days ago, essentially, the Titanic submersible, known as Titan, that it essentially imploded as soon as the water pressure got to be too much and everybody died instantly. This at least is according to the Coast Guard. Yesterday afternoon, they revealed that they had found a bunch of debris on the floor near the Titanic site. And apparently, again, there was essentially no long period of survival. As soon as it hit beyond the water pressure that the Titan was capable of withholding, it just imploded. It basically got crushed like a can. Here's the Coast Guard Admiral John Malger confirming a catastrophic loss of pressure chamber.
This morning, an ROV, or remote operated vehicle, from the vessel Horizon Arctic discovered the tail cone of the Titan submersible approximately 1,600 feet from the bow of the Titanic on the seafloor. The ROV subsequently found additional debris. In consultation with experts from within the Unified Command, the debris is consistent with the catastrophic loss of the pressure chamber. Upon this determination, we immediately notified the families.
Well, as it turns out, the Navy knew full well that this chamber had imploded almost immediately. According to the Wall Street Journal, a top-secret military acoustic detection system designed to spot enemy submarines first heard what the U.S. Navy suspected was the Titan implosion hours after the submersible began its voyage on Sunday. So we were all waiting around until Thursday, including the families. Obviously, our hearts go out to them. They were waiting around for days, thinking that it was possible that their family members were still alive on the ocean floor waiting for rescue. According to the Wall Street Journal, the Navy began listening for the Titan almost as soon as the sub lost communications. According to a U.S. defense official, shortly after the submersible's disappearance on Sunday, the U.S. system detected what it suspected was the sound of an implosion near the debris site discovered on Thursday and reported its findings to the Coast Guard commander on site. The Navy couldn't definitively say the sound came from the Titan, but the discovery played a role in narrowing the scope of the search for the vessel before its debris was discovered on Thursday, according to officials. A senior U.S. Navy official told the Wall Street Journal the U.S. Navy conducted an analysis of acoustic data and detected an anomaly consistent with an implosion or explosion in the general vicinity of where the Titan submersible was operating when communications were lost. While not definitive, this information was immediately shared with the incident commander to assist with the ongoing search and rescue mission. Now, this is exactly what James Cameron had suggested. He, of course, the director of Titanic, who spent an awful lot of time in this area and knows a fair bit, actually, about sending submersibles down to the ocean floor. Here was James Cameron explaining that he knew pretty much right away that the Titan had essentially imploded.
It's just tragic, and it's horrific, and it's unnecessary. There are acoustic networks around. Some are research, some are intelligence. We got confirmation within an hour that there had been a loud bang at the same time that that comms were lost. A loud bang on the hydrophones, loss of transducer or transponder, loss of comms. I knew what happened. Sub imploded. I sent emails to everybody I know. I said, we've lost some friends. The sub has imploded. It's on the bottom in pieces right now. I sent that out Monday morning.
Yeah, so James Cameron knew. So the question is, again, now you wonder why there's institutional distrust. Again, this is why people come up with conspiracy theories. It's why there's institutional distrust. Why is it that James Cameron knew that Monday morning? Why is it that the Navy knew this almost immediately? And then we went through this 5-day rigmarole of not only deploying enormous resources to the area, which is fine. I mean, even if it's a recovery mission, deploying resources is fine. But why is it that we are led on this sort of media speculative wild goose chase where maybe they're still alive at the bottom of the ocean in some sort of Jason Blum film? More on this in just 1 second. First, as you know, baby Shapiro, number 4, baby boy Shapiro, he came into the world just a few weeks ago, and sleep is very, very difficult to come by. He is a delightful young child. Also, kids at this age, they don't sleep well, and he's got his nights and his days reversed, and man, oh man, we need our sleep. Well, this is why we rely so strongly on Bowl and Branch. I rely on Bull & Branch. Once my head hits that pillow, I have to fall asleep within seconds. Bull & Branch makes it happen. Bull & Branch sheets are made from the finest 100% organic cotton threads on earth. They feel buttery to the touch. They're super breathable, so they're perfect for both cooler and warmer months. Their signature hemp sheets were made with luxurious threads. They're made without pesticides, formaldehyde, other harsh chemicals. Best of all, Bull & Branch gives you a 30-night risk-free trial with free shipping and returns on all orders. You're not going to want to return them. By the way, they don't just do sheets. I got to say, they have a blanket, like an Afghan, that I love so much that I literally bring it on the road with me. It is just that comfortable. Bull & Branch product is amazing. Get a better night's sleep with Bull & Branch. Get 15% off your first order when you use promo code Shapiro today at bullandbranch.com. That's Bull & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com. Promo code Shapiro. Exclusions apply. See site for details. That's bullandbranch.com. Promo code Shapiro. And you get 15% off that very first order. Are you tired of feeling uncomfortable in your underwear and loungewear? Especially during those scorching summer months? Well, I have the best underwear and loungewear available on planet Earth for you. Those are Tommy John underwear. Their loungewear is also great. How do I know they're so great? Because I wear them all the time. In fact, Tommy John underwear are gracing this magnificent tuchus right at this moment. When you wear Tommy John, you're so much more comfortable. You can do everything better. Their underwear has dozens of comfort innovations, like breathable, lightweight, moisture-wicking fabric with 4 times the stretch of competing brands. It can keep you 7 degrees cooler than cotton. It's incredibly durable. You can wash Tommy John underwear over and over and over again. Remains incredibly comfortable, incredibly durable. Tommy John's also sells loungewear with a level of softness that I've never felt before. It is incredibly luxurious. It's the small things in life that make you feel rich. And Tommy John is the kind of thing that makes you feel rich. Shop Tommy John Summer Collection. Get 20% off your first purchase at TommyJohn.com/Ben. That's 20% off at TommyJohn.com/Ben. After you get Tommy John, you'll do the same thing I did. You'll take all of your other underwear and you'll basically throw them out because they're just not as good. TommyJohn.com/Ben. See site for details. Get 20% off right now at TommyJohn.com/Ben. Why wasn't the public notified of the significant possibility, indeed high probability, that everybody aboard was dead and killed almost instantly at the very beginning of all of this? This, of course, leads to enormous speculation. This always happens when there's lack of transparency from our institutions, when they know something you don't, and they clearly knew, like days in advance this was happening. This leads people into speculating about, well, maybe they were holding the story and they wanted the story to build up because they were covering something else up. There's a lot of speculation online last night, at least on the right side of the aisle, that the reason that the Biden administration didn't reveal any of this information was not because they wanted to confirm or because it would have been important if they actually notified anybody that this stuff was happening. The reason that they did that was to essentially misdirect away from all the attention that should be put on the Hunter Biden scandal, which we'll get to in just a second, because there actually is some pretty astonishing breaking news in the Hunter Biden scandal. Whistleblower interviews have now been released, and what's present in those whistleblower interviews is absolutely amazing. I mean, it's shocking, amazing, like smoking gun type stuff that not only requires full investigation, but may require impeachment of the president of the United States if it turns out that it is true. And so a lot of people are like, well, maybe the reason that they were holding the fact on the submersible imploding for 5 days is so that everybody be distracted all week with this story. Now, again, I always use Hanlon's razor, a tribute to human stupidity, virtually everything, because people are stupid and incompetent as a general rule. Malice is generally not the rationale for this sort of stuff, but I certainly understand why people are suspicious. And again, when you wonder why people are now suspicious of our institutions, it's because of stuff like this. They don't see the necessity for hiding this sort of material from the public. And again, you want to destroy institutional trust. This is precisely how you do it. So it's a tragedy. It's a terrible story. I guess the only saving grace here is that at least the people who were killed instantly and weren't suffering for days on end waiting to suffocate to death. But that is cold comfort, obviously, to the families. Alrighty, guys, the rest of the show is continuing right now. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be joined by Ian Rowe, Senior Fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, to talk about the destruction of American education. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro at checkout for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click the link in the description and join us.